I thought you and I were, you know.
Barb, we're going through the East Tunnel now.
These videos are not for children. If you're a children, then piss off.
Hey there, it's me, your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso. Avid Batman fan and diehard loser. Now, I've spoken in the past in passing about the Batman and Batgirl relationship, an unfortunate pairing that some continuities make canonical, and I've stated my outright hatred for it. But I don't know that I've necessarily given you all of my reasons why. And believe me, I have a list. I want to say that I believe this pairing is a mistake. And it's a mistake that, much like myself, should have been caught and aborted in its conceptual phases. Batman x Batgirl feels wrong on so many levels. I have seen this done in multiple continuities over the years, and I continue to hate it in multiple ways each and every time. Like, yes, this is a bad idea, but it goes beyond just being bad. Like, it honestly feels wrong. Like, when I'm physically watching it, when it's happening in front of my very eyeballs, every instinct I have tells me to look away. Knowing Batman's history with women, and taking into account all the villainous villain-ass he's gotten over the years, you would think that a relationship with someone on his own team, someone who he shares a cave with, you would think that that would be far less problematic. You would think that, but in thinking that, you would be wrong. First off, in general, I hate this notion that any two fictional characters of different genders have to somewhere down the line get together. Like, I don't know who wrote that rule, but I really want to see it erased. It's alright to just keep things platonic. Sometimes in this world, boys and girls meet, and they don't fall in love and end up happily ever after. Sometimes they're just friends. Sometimes they're just buddies. I'm not saying you should never have two main characters get together. I'm saying you shouldn't always have two main characters get together. As a matter of fact, at this stage in the game, I think it would be probably more interesting to do the opposite. Considering most of the time, if there is a male and female lead, inevitably, they do the do. This is a trope that I find very repetitive. And I think that it's happened so often that now it's just outright expected. It's boring, it's overdone, and quite frankly, sometimes I feel like this trope itself gets in the way of logic. You know, no matter what the actual dynamic and relationship between these two characters is, the guy with the pen said they gotta get together, so they gotta get together. Even if it defies logic, even if it feels forced, even if it is Batman and Batgirl. The Batman-Batgirl romance has always felt very jarring to me. And it's not just from my own disinterest and disgust in seeing these two characters shipped together. Because yeah, I don't like it in general, but it also doesn't feel like a natural evolution of these two characters' relationship. There is absolutely nothing to suggest that Bruce would somehow suddenly develop feelings for Barbara after all these years. Realistically, she doesn't even seem like she's his type. Now granted, when Batgirl first showed up on the scene, she was shown to have some feelings for Batman. But it felt like a harmless schoolgirl crush, and an entirely one-sided attraction. That feels normal, that feels natural. But this, not so much. Barbara went from Bruce's secret admirer to becoming his very public protege. The feelings that she once had for him washed away with familiarity. Replacing her fondness for Batman was a whole different sort of appreciation for the Dark Knight. In grew a respect for the man, the mask, and the mission. So to go from that to randomly becoming star-crossed lovers feels a lot more like a swerve than it does an overall direction. The mentorship also places the duo in an unfortunate dynamic. Whether intentional or completely warranted, having Batman end up dating the young woman that he's training does come off as a little bit manipulative. Any way you slice and dice this is an abuse of power. An argument can already be made that Batman is grooming these young crime fighters, but I don't want to think about him grooming young crime fighters. Why would you shed this unfavorable light on the Dark Knight? Previous to being romantically linked, the two had a teacher-student relationship. And I don't know if you know this, but teacher-student relationships are typically frowned upon, as they should be. Even going further than the teacher-student type of scenario, I always felt that Bruce saw Barbara like a daughter. Think of Batman's other sidekicks. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, all of them were Bruce's pseudo-sons. A fact that's made clear by the character's actions, but also by the dialogue expressed as well. The way he cared for and treated them was like family. And the way that he cared for and treated Barbara all these years was no different than how he cared for those boys. So it always felt like Barbara on some level was kinda like a surrogate daughter to him. Listen, Bruce, all I'm gonna say is that they're called the Bat Family, not the Bat Step Family. To make matters even more strange, when Batgirl first began her heroic career, she did so as a Batman fangirl. Someone who was devoted to the cause and took heavy inspiration from Gotham's protector. So in a way, it kinda makes Batman seem like an opportunistic vulture, looking to bring in some young fangirl to the Batcave, wait a couple years, and then make a move on her. I don't know, Bats, it kinda sounds like you would have really preferred a career in the music industry. It also makes Batgirl seem like she was less into the whole fighting crime aspect and was really just trying to get under Batman's utility belt. Which I hope I don't even need to say why that's not a great depiction of the character. I don't like this pairing for Batgirl in general, because it takes what is an established, interesting character and then just turns her into a bland love interest. Case in point, The Killing Joke. Her whole purpose in that movie was to be Bruce's potential love interest so she could get shot in the back and that could hurt Bruce. She is no longer a character, she is a plot point. She is a motivation for other characters. She is a damsel in distress, needing a hero to come and save her. Despite the fact that she herself is a hero. Look, it's not even just the Batman and Batgirl shipping. In recent years, writers have paired Batgirl with just about every member of the Bat family. The Three Jokers has the character put together with Red Hood Jason Todd, and Arkham Knight places the character with their newest Robin, Tim Drake. It's like the only idea they have for Batgirl is, oh gee, I don't know, let's just have her date somebody. She'd be someone's girlfriend, that works. Look, make no mistake, this isn't some lame plea for social media social justice brownie points. This is a plea for something more creative and less demeaning to be done with a character who deserves far better. Because Batgirl isn't just someone's girlfriend. She's Batgirl. On top of that, the age difference is a little bit much. Batgirl's in her early 20s here, and Bruce is about pushing 40. The guy has had twice the life experience as her. And listen, I'm not trying to moral grandstand here. I'm not looking to become the relationship police. But the human brain finishes developing at around age 25, which Batgirl was certainly under, and Batman was certainly over. I mean, it's even in their names. He is Batman, she is Batgirl. Man, girl. Are you getting the problem here? He's usually going after women who are around the same age as him. So to see him go after somebody who is so much younger than him is just really out of character. I mean, he's 40 and he's dating a college student. What's wrong, Brucey? Did you have a midlife crisis on Infinite Earths? Once again, I'm not the relationship police. I'm not going to say that these two being together is definitely immoral, but I do think it is at the very least questionable.
I'm telling you guys, it's wrong. It's wrong! It's
WRONG! Then again, the age gap is the least of this couple's conflicts. Because I think the worst part of this shipping here is how it affects other people in the continuity. The relationships the two people in this relationship have with other characters. That is a big problem. For starters, while I did say Barbara is Bruce's surrogate daughter, which throw up my mouth a little bit on that one, in addition to that, she's the real-life daughter of Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon, who has been Batman's closest friend and confidant for many, many years. The guy is the one person who believed in him, and everything that he stood for. His longest ally. Jim Gordon trusted Batman, so in return Batman thrusted his daughter. Come on, Bruce, bad form. You're supposed to be Batman, not Badman. You are a bad friend, Bruce Wayne, and more importantly, a very, very weird dude. The fact that Jim Gordon, Barbara's father, is a peer of Bruce's really just emphasizes my age issue that I spoke about before. He is literally old enough to be her father. And he is also the best of buds with her actual father. But even worse than any of that is the fact that Barbara is the ex-girlfriend of Nightwing. Bruce's protege, his sidekick, and adoptive son. In spite of their long-standing serious relationship, Batman still made a move, or at the very least, went with the flow, forever straining the relationship he had with his next of kin. He carelessly disregarded his ward in order to get with the broad. I'm sorry, that line was tasteless. And even worse, it didn't rhyme the way that I thought it would. My point is that now he's not only going after his best friend's daughter, he's also going after his son's ex-girlfriend. And to make matters even worse, in the Batman the Animated Series comic follow-up, it stated that this relationship actually began when Dick and Barbara were still together. So not only did these two start fooling around behind Nightwing's back, but Bruce also impregnates Barbara during that time. As you can imagine, Dick doesn't take too kindly to the fact that his dad knocked up his girlfriend while he was away, and he responds by the only way you can, by Will Smithin' the crap out of the guy. On top of this being overall raunchy and wrong for these characters, it's hard for me to imagine that this is a line the Caped Crusader would cross. Even if Barbara did have a little crush, the Batman I know wouldn't humor it. Batman is selfless. He's constantly sacrificing his own body for the greater good. So to see Batman act selfish and sacrifice the ones he loves for a greater body just feels wildly out of character. It breaks his moral compass. Bruce Wayne does all that he can to serve justice, to do the right thing when no one else is watching. He lives to save faces that are foreign to him, names that he doesn't know, people that he'll never meet. So why would he knowingly and carelessly hurt those closest to him? The people he does know, the people that he loves. I'm sorry, no matter what the continuity is, I have never been able to find this to be canonical in any way, shape, or form. In no context could I ever see Batman thinking, screw Dick, I'm gonna screw Barbara. I don't know, I just can't. I mean, if this guy is still guilt-ridden over the death of his parents when he was a child, why would he be okay with dismissing and writing these events off as a man? I just think that this relationship, given the context behind these two characters and the time that they've shared together, just comes off as very, very sleazy. And Batman and Batgirl aren't the characters you do a sleazy story with. They're both too squeaky clean and good. More importantly, I think the idea of these two seeing each other is far too selfish for either of them. I don't understand why it was ever made canonical in the first place, but I especially don't understand writers not learning their lessons from it. For once, the majority's with me on this one. Next to nobody likes this pairing, and next to nobody wants to see it. I'm sorry, Paul Dini, I like you very much, but this is the one thing that I don't like you so much on. I think this relationship takes so much away from the characters involved in it, without really adding anything. There's so much to lose and absolutely nothing to gain by merging Barbara Gordon and Bruce Wayne together. This shipping damages the dynamic between the original dynamic duo, probably reasonably past proper repair. It calls into question a hero's ethics. It makes the Dark Knight seem careless. It makes Batgirl seem like she's just bat arm candy. It cucks one of DC's greatest sidekicks turned hero. It just paints everyone in a strange light. And that light really goes against everything that we know about these characters. There is way too much working against these two, and not really a whole lot working for them. I will say that not every interpretation of the relationship is creepy, but the vast majority of them are. In the Lego Batman movie, the story sets these two up much better by taking away the factors that make this so bad. Aging Barbara up to be around Bruce's age, having Robin age down to obviously not include such a relationship between him and Barbara, and minimizing the friendship between Commissioner Gordon and Batman completely erases the creepy context that was originally created. However, I still wouldn't consider this rendition of the relationship to be good per se. I think it's much less gross and much more tolerable, but it's still not really my favorite thing to do with these characters. There just doesn't ever seem to be any real connection or chemistry between the two. At least not that kind of chemistry or connection. The closest I think I ever came to liking these two as an item is the teases that we got in Batman Beyond. There was something there that I almost liked. Obviously, the age difference isn't really all that massive in life experience at this time. They're both in their older years, their hair has turned gray, their skin has turned wrinkly. They're in the same sinking ship. There's significantly more time removed from Barbara's relationship with Dick Grayson to her potential relationship with Bruce. So I don't think that at this point in time it would have destroyed any of the core relationships of the Batman family. And considering that she's no longer under Batman's watchful eye, she's gone on to do her own thing, to be her own person, all of this helps to take away the bad taste that the previous relationship has left in my mouth. I mean that in the least sexual way possible, for the record. So had this romance started in Batman Beyond when the two vigilantes were in their later years, I don't think that I actually would have ever had a problem with it. Actually, I think I would almost be in favor of it. There just might have been something there. Regardless, I don't think this would ever have been my ideal end goal for either character. Call me basic, but in my book, Dick ends up with Barbara and Bruce ends up with Selina. That's just the way it is. Old man Bruce and old Barbara coming together to have their own Our Souls at Night kind of experience? I could maybe be on board for that. It wouldn't have been great, but it would have been okay. Yeah, that's good enough by me. Overall, this is why I find the Batman-Batgirl relationship to be so distasteful. To me, it's an assassination on two of my favorite characters, and it's just an unneeded pairing that I don't think really does much for either of the two that are paired together. So let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree. And if you like this video, let me know what other Batman opinion pieces you'd like to see on this channel. And with all that being said, I was your least favorite YouTuber, Infuso, and I thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
And if you're not joining the fun, you're in for one bad day. And you know what they say about having one bad day?
Catch him next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.